thanks a lot. But again, where'd you get it? There you go. Thank you. Well, we had a very similar week this week to last week. We had 5 games, and we went 4-1. And we had a very important district game, and we were able to win both those. Last week we beat Nixa. This past week, we beat Ozark. It was quite an interesting game against Ozark. They threw Barnes, and it was pretty good. And it was 0-0 into the 4th. We'd had several runners, couldn't get anybody across. They'd had nothing going into the 4th. So we get an error on the first guy, and then a bloop, and then they had 3 or 4 singles in a row, something like that. And they score 3 on us in the bottom of the 4th. And the rest of the game, we spend, we have runner, we have this runner, we have that runner, we can't score. And it gets into the 6th, and this is the first game this year for me that the pitch count came into play. We really battled Barnes early. I think he was at 45, 48 pitches after 2 innings. So now we're in the 6th, and we're doing a similar thing. And so he gets to 95 or 96 pitches after 6 innings. And we're thinking, okay, so it's 3-0 for them going into the 7th inning, and he pulls Barnes, and he puts in a reliever. And we get hit, and maybe a couple of walks in between and a hit by pitch. And, we score 7. So we score 7 in the top of the 7th to go ahead 7-3. And my starter was Ethan Paskey. He's done a really nice job, and he was well under the 105. But we batted quite a while in the 7th inning. So I run him back out there in the bottom of the 7th. We need 3 outs, and they lead off with a double against the wall, and I pulled it. I had a guy ready to go, and but he's a young sophomore, and he looked a bit nervous to me. He's got a nice arm, but he was kind of holding on to it a bit, I thought. So it got hairy at the end. They had scored 2 to make it 7-5, and they had 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, with their 3 and 4 hitters coming up. And the 3 hitter, the catcher, he hits a line drive right at the first baseman, and we catch it. And so nobody advances. And then the 4-hole hitter hits a 2-hopper right to the second baseman, and throw him out, and we win the game. So that was a big, big win for Glendale. The next day we go to Camdenton, and my concern that day was coming off such an emotional win, and we traveled to Ozark, and thought there might be a little bit of a letdown, and then we got to travel to Camdenton. And Camdenton returns almost every one of the players from last year, and they're doing a decent job. So I thought it might be a tough game. I threw Noah Lockman, and Noah's been doing just a really good job on everything I've asked him to do, and so I didn't let him hit, and he wondered why, and I said, well, what I need from you is 7 solid pitching innings. That's what I really need. And he proceeded to throw a shutout, so that worked, and we won that game 7-0, I think. And we pushed a couple across early, and just did what we had to do to get that win. And then we went down to Claremore this weekend, and we played 3 games, you know, I said the previous weekend we went 4-1, and the one game we lost 3-2, and it was a game we could have won. That's what happened this weekend. We lost 3-2 in extra innings on a game we could have won to Pryor, and it was the first time I'd been to Pryor. And you may not know, but a former Bear and legend of Pryor, Perry Keith, that's where he's from. And so the coach, of course, knew Perry, because everybody knows Perry down there. And it's a real nice field. You see that field?
Where at?
Pryor.
Have not.
It's a nice little field. I was glad we got to play there, but we lost 3-2, and we lost that game. I was going to tell you how we lost that game. We lost that game because of a walk, an error, a balk, and a hit by pitch. That's how we lost that game. But anyway, we recovered the next day, and we played Skiatook on Saturday, and we short gamed them. And then we played Claremore, kind of the featured game Saturday night. We played Claremore, and Claremore had just beat Pryor on Thursday. And so Pryor then beats us on Friday. Now we have Claremore, and I thought that was the game our team hit the best all season in that game. I think I've got a decent hitting team. Haven't really seen exactly what they can do until the Claremore game, and we really hit the ball well. We just crushed the ball, and it was a good hitting day. It was the wind was blowing out. It was nice. It was a nice evening, but we just crushed the ball. We scored 5 in the first inning. We had 3 successive 2-out hits in the top of the first, and just did a nice job. So we scored 5, and so then I got to worrying. You know, it's not such a great situation for our pitcher, and it happened to be Trace Klinkenbeard, and Trace has already pitched once on a day when the wind was really blowing out, which is so unfair. Well, he only gave up 3 hits, and he just did a great job, and we wound up short gaming Claremore 11-1 on Saturday. So we're currently 10-5, and feeling pretty good where we're at this week. We have Parkview tomorrow night over at Parkview, and then Saturday we play Aurora, which I don't know, have they lost yet? We play Aurora Saturday at Aurora, so we're going to get to play on their new field, and then we'll play Carl Junction as well. I think we play Carl then Aurora. Those are the 3 games we got to play this week. Kind of a light week, only 3 games. So thanks for everything.